Okay, calculating present values. So first one is present value of a lump sum. What is the value of today of some dollar amount in the received in the future? So with a lump sum, we're talking about a single value in the future. So that's we're going to use those same. Well, we don't. I mean, we can use those same factors to for example, if we went back to our other our same example, the 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 we had we had $10,000 invested for 30 years at 14%. So of course that's going to go back. Okay, if I can get it. Okay, here we go. So, for example, that we ended up with 713,000. I know wasn't exactly that, but if you divided that number by 1.14 to the 30th power, that would give you you should get something very close to $10,000. There might be a little bit of rounding, but if you were to enter that into your calculator, um, N would be 30, IY would be 14%. That's a whole number, not 0.14. They so we're going to compute the PV. So payment's going to be zero. Future value would be that 713,000 number. Again, I know that's not the exact number, but then compute PV, and you should get something close to $10,000. So um, again, we'll cover these types of calculations in a separate video, but a just a basic example of how that would work. Present value of annuity. So that annuity is a series of payments. So that's multiple payments. So in this case, we're going to enter in IY. So our example there. So we had um, actually, I think I got the wrong number here. That was the 713,000 was the I think it was 500 and something thousand. This was 713,000 was the value of the $2,000. So in this case, so we so we're going to enter in IY the payment. We always payment's going to be zero. No, sorry, payment's going to be the amount. So in this case, it was $2,000. Um, so, um, so if we did that for 30 years, what's that amount of money worth today? So that's so the so so concept check 1 4, the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Why is that so critical? The simple interest is simple is simply you're earning interest, but you're not um, your 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 money your interest is not earning interest when you're only earning simple interest. They um, used to some savings accounts were set up that way where you only if you didn't get the interest credited that you didn't earn interest on interest. So but the key to accumulating wealth is to for your investments or your interest to grow and then earn interest on those over a long period of time. Uh, Two components used when we figure the time value of money, that interest rate and time. We need those. Use your calculator to calculate the future value uh, of these different. There are three different calculations here. So I'll go ahead and enter these into our calculator. So this one, the $2,000 at 5% for 4 years. So they so N is going to be 4. The IY is going to be 5. The PV is going to be the $2,000. So that's a negative. Payment is 0. So let me. So that would be to compute future value. That would be $2,431.01. So that's an 01. All right. So the next one is $4,500 at 9% for 8 years. So N is going to be 8 for 8 years. IY is 9. PV is the 4,500. And then, so payment, again, there's no payments here, so that's 0. So compute future value. And just plug that into my calculator. So 8N, 9IY, 4,500. Again, that's a negative. And 0 payment. And so that one is $8,966.53. So then $10,000 at 6% for 10 years. So N is 10, IY is 6, PV is the 10,000. And in these calculations, it's not the sign is not as important as some of the ones we'll do in the future, but if you enter this as a positive, the answer you'll get is a negative. What we try to do is use anything that's coming out of your pocket, whether that be a payment or a deposit, we enter that as a negative. And then compute future value. So that's 10N, 6IY, 10,000 PV, 0 payment, compute future value, and that's $17,908.48. So, okay, we'll start the next lecture with employee benefits.